Good evening. Patrick here. 8 questions with Half Cheeto Will View. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Tonight we are talking to professional photographer Justin Robert Sanders. He'll be here in about 15 minutes or so. Tremendous artist. He's also a professional photographer. He's also an artist as well. He does his look who's here. The bat is here. The bat has landed. That's right. The bat and the cheetah. That's right. Um, I'm looking forward to today. This is gonna be quite exciting. Um, Small world too. I mean, I've been following Justin for a little bit, and then I actually had to talk him into coming on. Um, he didn't think that he had much to offer, and if you look at his work, it's you know it's going to be something I'm going to talk about because he's got incredible talent. I think artists by nature, um, I don't know. I mean, I think photographers have a really strong sense of self. I think artists probably have a little less. I think most artists I know always have that little shadow of doubt in it. I think that's what makes them really good artists. Um, but because I don't know that many artists that are just super brash and bold, and I've been around a few. I've been around quite a few artists, and um, they are a little, they're confident in their ability as far as creating art goes, but photography and hand drawn art, um, it's the same. I don't know if it's considered in the same discipline, if it's just like a subgenre, different subject. Um, all I know is that Justin is a tremendous artist, both with his camera and with his hand. And we're going to be talking to him about his skills. Now, what's really fun about Justin is after him and I agreed to do the interview here. After I always do an interview, after I always get one confirmed, I look for a picture to use for promotion. So I'm over on Justin's Instagram page, and I'm looking for a picture to use for the promote. And again, this is not uncommon, both for artists and for novelists too. Actually, um, they're sort of photo shy, which is sort of ironic, considering that you're a professional photographer, but you don't have very many pictures of yourself up there. That's something else we'll have to talk about as well. But I was scrolling through trying to find a picture of Justin to use for the promotion, and he possesses great skills. Yes, that's right. He is a ninja photographer. If if he was a ninja, his name would be Michael Dudikoff. Uh, or if Michael Dudikoff was a great photographer, he'd be Justin Robert Sanders. That's right. Um, so as I scrolling down on his Instagram page looking for a picture, all of a sudden, out of the blue, I see a picture of actress Dilynn Fawn Harvey, and I'm like, whoa, that's interesting. I didn't see that coming. As you know, Dilynn Fawn Harvey is a well-known independent horror actress who's done a lot of good horror films. She's worked with Todd Sheets on many projects, and she's even been interviewed here on 8 Questions With. And yes, my light has decided it wants to be a haunted lamp tonight. Um, so I saw that. I'm going like, wow, that is so cool. It's such a small world because I really had no idea that they knew each other. Um, I'll throw it ninjas now. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's right. Um, so I said, wow, I did not know you knew, you knew Don Lynn well, Dilynn, and there she is, walked right through the door. Small world, Dilynn. Seriously, this is epic. It was so cool to scroll down there and see looking back at me and going like, I know her. I talked to her. She's awesome. Hey Echo, how are you? How are you? Yeah, I'm excited for this. This is gonna be a lot of fun. Like I said, This is gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, I know. Dylan, all of a sudden, all I know is I just get that sense of Kevin Bacon. Hey, John, how are you? Wow, cool. Thank you guys all so much for coming in. Um, and of course, for the guys who came in yesterday, thank you for coming back today. Yesterday's show was one for the books. We had a lot of fun yesterday. That was quite different, for sure. Our interview with novelist Ted Jordan yesterday, and that was yesterday. That's up. You can go and check that out on replay. Um, Definitely a different type of interview, a different kind of show. Um, and if you guys get a chance and you want to listen to it, I encourage you to do so. So, so Justin, like I said, not only is he a fantastic photographer, um, I mean, he works with all sorts of, he says he, in his own words, he works with the odd and the unusual. He does the odd and the unusual. His pictures aren't just the simple ones. There's a lot of thought put behind it. Um, oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay. Hold on here. Let's see. Uh, Jesse. Oh, okay. Uh, I'm just working with Justin to get him to come on in. So give me 1 second here. I know. I think that StreamYard is having problems. I noticed that they said that it wasn't working for Facebook comments or whatnot, so it might be a little bit wonky today. Uh, let's see. So let me see if I Yeah, I don't know. Has anybody had any trouble with StreamYard today? Anybody been having troubles with working it today? I know I tried to go in earlier and yeah, it was sort of wonky, acting really wonky. I didn't have any problem getting in today, right now, but earlier I had trouble. So hopefully it's just a couple of steps. Hopefully it won't bother him. Act up. Um, let's see. Oh, oh, right. That's right. John, how are you doing? Glad you're doing well. Glad you guys are here. Those who can share us out, that'll be awesome. I'm just going to be walking things through with Justin. So go ahead and talk among yourselves. Um, you're, let me just do, let me if I can do this. Hey, Aaron, how are you? How are you? Just give me one. Uh, uh, I know. We're getting to episode 200. Give me a couple more minutes here, guys. I'm just trying to walk Justin through this. I'm not sure if he doesn't know, or if it's just, it could be just StreamYard acting like a bugger. Hopefully you're doing well, Aaron. Hopefully you're doing well. Um, yeah, according to according to my calculations, this is going to be interview 196. According to my calculations, our 200th episode will take place on November 8th, with actress producer Christina De Rosa. So that will be pretty exciting, actually. Uh, okay. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe he's opened it through a different way. I don't understand why it's taking him. It's like taking him all over the place. Okay. I'm gonna step out for a minute. I'll be right back. It's just two. Oh, no, no, no. All right, let me just do this. I'm gonna give me one more quick second here. Uh, yeah, 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 that's right. Yeah, never say that, right? Oh boy. Yep, that's one of the rules of Scream. I'll be right back. leave it leave it to the bat to come up with that. Wow. Oh, that is weird. It's wonky. Ah, wow. All right. Okay, I know. Okay. I think he might have to open it in Chrome. Okay. Yeah, it's wonky because it's asking him to create. It's like, no, you're a guest. We sent you the guest link. That is bonkers. Yeah, and the Facebook thing's still on there too. Yep. Uh, Give me a couple more minutes. We're gonna get Justin on here. It's a little wonky today on StreamYard. Wow. Uh, okay. Oh, that is weird as hell. All right, fellas, and ladies, give me one quick second here. I might have to step out again. I might have to call him to walk him through this. According to what I'm seeing here, is that it's not letting him go through the normal ways to come on board as a guest. And yeah, of course, my light's all freaking out too. So I might have to go ahead and walk him through. I don't understand what's going on with StreamYard. I got on no problem. So let me step out for a second to give him a ring. That's right. Look at me. I'm a damn ninja. All right. All right. We are rocking and rolling. I'm a damn ninja. Now, the feedback there, Justin, are you operating on your phone or desktop?
Phone.
Phone. Okay. Do you have another computer that's up and running?
Yeah, I've got my some laptop.
Okay, you're gonna probably have to turn the sound down on your laptop, otherwise we'll be getting. Oh, never mind. No, you're good. You're good. I don't hear myself echoing. All right. All right. Wow, this has been a fun week, my friend. Um, and let me make the screen up a little bit bigger for us. Yeah. Ta-da! All right. All right. You hear me? All right.
It's a little quiet on my end, but that's my phone. I'm arguing with it.
Oh, all right. Thank you everybody in the chat for hanging around. This is me operating like MacGruber, and between me and Justin, we figured this out. We did some fly by wire, and now we're here. We're live, and we're ready to rock and roll. This is our guest, Justin Robert Sanders. Do you go by Justin Robert or just Justin?
Just Justin.
Okay. Yeah, I was telling everybody how when I found you, when I found your Instagram page and I was scrolling through it, how incredibly gifted you were, and and I was really surprised. Okay, now I'm haunted here. It's Halloween, right? Um, I was telling folks how gifted you were, and you were really seemed sort of surprised when I was saying that, and you wanted to know why I would want to talk to you because you didn't think that you didn't think you had anything to offer. But I'm still looking at your Instagram page, and I'm just blown away by the talent you have, both your drawing ability and your photography. You're very skilled.
Thank you. I've been doing it for a long time.
Now, have you always been based in Topeka, Kansas?
I grew up in Wyoming. I moved here when I was 15.
Okay. What caused the move? Was that just something you wanted to do, or your family had to move, or
It was, well, it seemed like a good idea at the time.
do you miss Wyoming?
I missed the state, not the people.
Hmm. Hmm. People a little tough back there, huh?
Well, I've developed very left leaning, and Wyoming is still highly conservative.
Yeah, yeah, it is. That he's probably getting a little bit more every day. Um. Yeah, I can understand that. Uh, that's funny you mentioned that because we had a young man on yesterday who was a very conservative, and it was an interesting show, interesting discussion. Um, I'm not sure how much. I'm not sure what he. I think he would probably appreciate. I'm not sure if he appreciate your art. I do. So screw it. That's the only thing that matters. What was really cool though is when after I asked you to do the show and you agreed to do it, and thank you for doing so. I scrolled down on your page, and like I said, you have you do the odd and the unusual. Now, uh, in Wyoming, I would think that you would have cut your teeth taking pictures of animals and the wildlife, the landscape, outdoors. Is that where you cut your teeth as far as photography went?
Actually, photography, I started when I was in the Navy.
Okay.
I became a journalist a couple years in, and that's what got me really hooked on it.
Now did you hand draw? Did you start drawing when you were younger? Then did that come first before? I mean, obviously that
Oh
was
yeah, yeah. I remember. I don't know how old I was when I started, but you recall those old Scholastic magazines you got in elementary school with the how to draw dinosaurs on the back?
Oh yeah.
That was it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I remember those magazines. Hell, you still see them once in a while inside of a doctor's office. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. So you did that. What did you draw what caused you, what made you decide you wanted to draw? I mean, were you bored? Did you see something? Did you go to art galleries? Did you
I
just
No, I never really did much with the art galleries. I don't know why I did it. I saw it on the back. I started doing it, and I've been doodling more or less since.
uh but you do recognize you do have a skill, right? I mean, you do know that you are good at this.
Well, art's subjective, and boy, you should see some of the people I'm up against right now.
I love I love some of the art you did. The picture of Jean Grey as Phoenix. That I love that picture. That picture is really skillful. I really like that. I like the Mr. Sinister. That was
Oh,
really
yeah.
cool. That was a cool shot
Those
as
are
well.
old ones. I don't actually get to post them a lot of what I do these days.
Yeah, yeah. So, you were in the Navy. How long were you in the Navy for?
4 years, 99 to '03.
Okay, and you became a journalist.
Yeah, 2 years in, I got promoted to journalist.
Now, was that something you had always worked on in school? Did you work on the school paper
Oh
and
no, it was just I hated being a deck seaman, and it looked like something I could do.
so he said, I'm going to go ahead and I'll write about the ships. Or were you on a carrier?
I I was on a fast combat refueler,
Okay,
so floating gas station.
right, right. Yeah. How'd you like duty on that?
Let's just say that when I left the Navy, I was glad to go, and they were glad to see me go.
Let's see. Hey, Frog, how are you? Well, I don't know about all that, Frog. I'm not quite Frog famous yet. Um, uh, uh, but getting there. Um, yeah, I can understand that. I don't know if I really want to serve on top of a gas station. I mean, it'd be great in peacetime, but in wartime, yeah, I'd be probably shitting gold bricks.
Yeah,
Um,
Iraqi freedom was rough.
yeah, yeah, that's not a place I want to be. Um, so after you got out of the Navy, did you decide did you think that you wanted to continue something like that? Did you want to continue to be a journalist? Did you go to take any classes doing that?
No, photography became sort of the art form. The journalism, not so much.
Okay, well that's all right. Um, so what did you do? How did you get into photography? I mean, was it something on the ship? Did they have their own equipment they gave you and you said, hey, you know what?
Yeah, yeah. Just like I
Yeah.
said, I became a journalist, and we were sort of a one-stop shop. I did the photography, wrote some articles, so I was working with the camera there, and that's what got me into it.
So, what was the first camera that you bought for yourself after did you get your first camera for yourself while you were in the Navy, or
Well,
did you wait till after
I've
out?
had point and shoots almost my whole life, but DS, my first film camera was a Minolta. I forget the brand number, but bought a Minolta back in the film days.
Uh, what is better, Justin? I mean, is it film better or digital better?
Depends on what you want to do. I prefer digital because, well, these days it's just as expensive as film, and then you don't have to buy or develop the film.
Is it expensive as digital? As expensive as a film camera?
Well, remember, prices keep going down as technology increases. So,
Right. I mean, I was gonna say it's you just shoot on a card, right? And then
yeah,
how do you print from a digital card? You just put that in your computer, or can you take it into because you can't, it's like there's no more Kodaks anymore where you could used to take your camera and you take your film and they develop it for you. Um,
I know a few people from my time on some modeling websites, and if I print anything out, I send it to them.
okay, so so digital film can be converted over to paper then.
Oh yeah, you can print out. I mean, it's just like printing anything else. It's just it's done half tone on a different kind of paper.
Um, what was so you took your Monolta. Now, did you go back to Topeka after you got out of the Navy?
Yeah, I
And
was pretty broken when I got out of the Navy, so I came home to try and get my stuff together.
yeah. Oh, you had yeah, combat stress then.
No, I just mentally messed up. I've got, like many classic artists, my mind's a mess.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I'm not an artist, but I do have a messed up brain. You're not alone. That's always good to know. It's always good to know there's somebody out there that's with you. Um, but you mentioned how are you feeling now? I mean, did taking pictures of different subjects and animals and life and landscapes and everything else, did it help settle you down after you got out?
Well, uh, it was something new and exciting, and don't know if it helped settle me down, but it was something to do. I mean, my
Right.
illustrations like completely died when I got out of the Navy. I didn't touch a pencil for 10 years. So
Wow.
I put all
You
my
just
focus in my photography.
I get it. Now you want to just that's just what you wanted to do. It made you feel more comfortable. I take it. Did you miss drawing at all?
It's a weird thing because I'd say burnt out, even though that's not quite the word. But there was just nothing left for my drawing after the Navy.
Yeah. I'm not going to poke into that with you. I don't think that, but we don't need to do that.
I haven't done a lot of illustration until 2018. I started doing it heavy again.
Good, good. So talk to us about the first time you actually you got your own equipment, and here you are. You're in Topeka, Kansas, and what's the first thing you shot?
Oh, holy hell, that was in film. I had no idea. I mean, like I said, I've been taking pictures since I was in the Navy, and I remember some of those more in my early photography days. I mean, it was always, I've always been more focused on people than landscapes or anything.
Right.
I
What
knew a
attracts
few
you?
family friends when I got back, and they helped me out with my shooting people stuff.
Sure, sure. So they helped you hone your skill. I mean, that's the best way to learn is by doing, right? Learn by doing. Um,
That's what they say.
but it was a little. Now that was before, like you said, it was before digital, so that was a little bit of an expensive. It was a little expensive back then.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, it could get pricey. That was also back in the days of Walmart Hour Photo, so
Right. Yeah. I guess the prices were a lot cheaper back then too. Um, did you save anything from your early days of snapping folks?
I don't know where the film or the prints went, but I have a lot of my early stuff on a external hard drive. So I'd always
Yeah.
make sure they give me a CD when they print out my stuff.
Right. Do you ever do photographers ever go back to their early work, Justin? Do they ever go back there and just study, like you go back to your first pictures? Do you study what you did then versus to what you do now? And do you make any adjustments, or do you see things that you didn't see back when you first started versus today that maybe you wouldn't do or would if you had another chance you would do again?
Oh man, if I go back and look at my stuff, I face palm hard. It was bad.
Um, but bad only in the sense that you were learning. I mean, that's the
Oh yeah,
thing.
but I mean, yeah, to redo. I'd love to go back in time and redo it, knowing what I know now. I'd kick some ass, but
There we go. That's a little flash I was
that
looking
was
for.
back in the day before I knew about off-camera flash and good lighting and all that. So,
Uh, what is it about people? What is it about people versus landscapes or animals or buildings or what have you? What is it about people that you like taking pictures of? I mean, what do you look for in a person to take a picture of?
it's a good question, and I honestly don't know how to answer. I just I tend to think in people more than I do anything else. Man, I enjoy
Uh,
shooting wildlife, but I'm not really an outdoorsy type, so I'm not outside much.
um, yeah, because you shoot a lot of the insides. I noticed that too in some of your pictures that you've taken. Hi, Katie. How are you? Hopefully, you're feeling better. Yeah, I was looking at that, and there's some really cute stuff too. You taking a picture of. I'm looking at the one with the. I'm looking at the picture now with the duck and the Green Lantern. That's a. It looks like they look like Funko Pops almost, but that's a cute picture right there. I like the way how you framed it. And then
And I
there's
also
some of
do a
your.
lot.
Go
I
ahead.
do a lot of sports stuff, or used to. I was really good at that.
What do you like to shoot? What sport did you like to shoot?
I shot professional wrestling for a lot of years at a local wrestling company, and then when I was going to college, I shot the local football team for my last semester.
Okay. What college did you go to?
Washburn University.
Okay, that's in Kansas.
Yeah, it's in Topeka. It's the only city-run college in the nation.
Um, yeah, that must have been a lot of fun. I mean, do you like shooting sports, or that's just something that just came and went, or
Well, I
is that
enjoy
something?
it, and I'm actually damn good at it. But that was one I never knew how to follow up on.
Um, yeah, I guess you get. How do you get a job with that? Do you have to go through a newspaper to get through that job, or did you
Oh, I
approach the
have no
school?
idea. I did it in college, and I haven't been able to do anything with it since.
Okay. Do you still shoot pro wrestling? That will be now. That will make if you say yes, that will make a lot of people in our chat very happy because there's a lot of wrestling fans in the chat.
Well, unfortunately, no. There's not much of a professional wrestling scene left around here.
Um, obviously there's a movie scene around there. That's for sure because you've taken pictures of a lot of actresses like Dilynn and whatnot.
Yeah, Fawn and I've known her for well, a lot.
Uh, could you repeat that?
And if I've done any other actresses, I don't really know about it. But
How long have you known Dilynn? That your answer got muddled.
oh god, let's see.
Easy
Oh,
now.
at
Don't
least
put.
10 years. I'd have to check the dates.
Yeah, you don't want to say, yeah, I've known her for 30 years. I mean, that'll probably get us both killed. Um,
No, maybe 10.
10 sounds good. 10 sounds good. Uh, now, how did you get involved in shooting models? I mean, obviously that was, that's a really, that's a interesting, it's an interesting thing to shoot. You shoot the odd and the unusual. What is the odd and unusual to you?
Well, odd and unusual to me is family portraits because, I'm odd and unusual. So normal things are weird to me. Weird things are normal.
Uh, I see. Dylan mentioned a long time, but notice that there's no years mentioned in this because and there won't be any years mentioned in this because me and Justin like to live. Um, so okay, well, let's go with this. How did you meet? How did you meet Dylan and you obviously know Todd Sheets. So did you
Actually, I
meet?
don't. I just know of him.
Oh, really? You haven't met him yet?
No.
That needs to be rectified. That really needs to be rectified.
Well,
I bet
not
he would
to
love to.
put too much detail into it, but as far as meeting Fawn, let's just say that there is a long and storied connection between professional wrestlers and women dancers.
Sure. Well, there's women dancers and rock and roll too, right?
Yeah. It's all
Um,
speaking of things that are going to get us murdered.
yeah. uh, so, have you shot any? Have you ever been on a movie set? Because I know they have still photographers there to take pictures of a movie set, for stills and whatnot, for publicity or whatnot. Have you done that as well as your as
I
working?
have not been on a movie set per se, but this is one of those funny stories where I can say both yes and no.
Okay, let's hear it.
I have never officially been on a movie set like on stage. However, in my last year in the Navy, my battle group is featured in a film called The Core. It's got I think
All
it's
right, Aaron Eckhart and
Aaron Eckhart and Hilary Duff.
Hillary Swank. Yes,
Swank,
yes.
yes. At the end, when the Navy's going out to rescue him, that was my battle group. I was on the ship. My
Oh,
ship's in there. I was on the ship at the time.
how cool is that?
It's funny. They told us none of us could be out on deck, so you can't see any of us. But I was there. I was on the ship. My ship's in the movie.
That's cool. Did obviously they must have kept everybody away from the crew, or did you actually get to see any of Aaron or Hillary?
No, they said we're filming for a movie. All of you guys stay indoors. So we saw nothing. We knew nothing.
Yeah, yeah. Did you watch the movie?
I have watched the movie.
What did you think? Do you think your battle group was represented?
I mean, it's cool seeing my ship because, like, hey, I was there. I was on the ship at the time.
So that is actually a movie set then. So you can say you've been on a movie set.
Yeah, but not in the way you were asking.
No, but you know what? That's all right. So going back, I mean, you're shooting the pro wrestling. I guess women dancers, I guess they are just like anything else. They need headshots. They need pictures to get jobs. Is that something you walked into, or did somebody come up there and say, Justin, I need a set of pictures. Can you help me out? And did you say, okay, I could do that?
Not really. I just be like, hey, I've got an idea, and talk to like the 3 or 4 people I knew who'd do it, and then I'd shoot a little bit, and then come up with another idea later. Eventually, I started reaching out to people on the internet.
Okay. So you're a hard charger. You started going out there and getting more confidence, ready to rock and roll. So who was the first pro wrestler you shot, and what was the first lady or setting you shot as far as becoming a professional where you got paid for it?
Well, technically speaking, I've never been paid for my wrestling work. I mean, we got the Whiplash payout, which was free hot dogs and nachos after the show. We were a really little company.
Yeah.
We ran shows up at the Boys and Girls Club on the Sac and Fox reservation.
Are you still a big pro wrestling fan now?
Not so much. I keep up with the dirt sheets and sort of keep an eye on what happens, but I don't watch TV anymore, so I don't actually watch wrestling.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so talk to us a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about some of the pictures you've done. Like I said, the odd and the unusual. How did you get into that aspect of your career? Did you go to comic conventions, cosplay?
Surprisingly enough, my comic convention days are fairly recent.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's good.
My first comic convention, I think, was summer of 2010. I was visiting family after I graduated community college. I took a trip down to Dallas, and my aunt took me to Dallas Comic Con.
And what did you think about that?
It's a little slice of heaven.
I'm sure. Sort of overwhelming, isn't it? The first time you go to a convention.
Oh yeah, I've been going to Planet Comic Con since about 2018. I think was my first Planet. That's the one in Kansas City.
Right. Now, do you get press passes to go back there and take your picture?
Actually, no, I've never worked at Comic Con. I go there as a fan.
Okay. Well, I think with some of your pictures and some of your portfolios that you have, and I'm sure there's people that have posted your work. I'm sure you could probably get a press pass next time.
If I knew how, I might, but
Oh, I can talk you through that.
I gotta tell you, I kind of just enjoy going as a fan and seeing all the stuff and spending way more money than I ought to.
Yeah. See, that's the beautiful thing about a press pass is you don't pay to get in. Yeah, that's why you get a press
Oh no,
pass.
it wasn't the pay. It wasn't the paying to get in. It was the buying stupid replica stuff.
Now, do you have a large memorabilia collection, like movies or
Oh,
cameras
larger than
or
anyone my age should have.
what do you collect more, cameras or do you collect books, figures, and movies?
Uh, Books, figures, that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh. So I know this is going to be a really strange question, but I'm going to ask it anyway because there is a follow-up question for it, Justin. So do you have Funko Pops?
Me? No, those aren't something I do.
Oh, okay.
I do action figures and statues.
So
But
you're more like a comic book guy. So you collect comic books. Obviously you must,
oh
for
yeah,
your
every Saturday I'm at my local comic shop picking up my pull list.
okay, okay. So let's talk about some of your do you like because I noticed you like I said you drew Phoenix, you drew Scarlet Witch. I saw Mr. Sinister on your page. Do you have a do you have a favorite superhero or villain that you like to paint or draw more of than anything else?
You know, ironically, I tend to prefer when I'm drawing to do my own characters. I don't do fan art a lot.
Um, do you have anything do you have anything close by you of your own creation that you can share?
Uh, let's see what I got of my own. Uh, See, the problem is as I've gotten older, a lot of my stuff is gotten more not safe for work. So
Oh,
showing it off is risky.
right. Yeah. It's a little dicey. Yeah, I noticed that some of your pictures, some of your photography, it's it's rated PG-13, definitely.
Yeah, but yeah, these days I'm mostly definitely into the R or above
Um, how
rating.
how how do you what was the first time you actually did shoot your first nude? Was that something that they asked for you to do? Was it something how
Yeah, I had
comfortable
a
how com-
family
go
friend who wanted to do some topless pictures, so I shot her. Then another family friend was my first one I shot nude, and after that it just got mixed into the usual stuff I do.
I guess
Although
I
to
guess
be fair, nudes are more the usual stuff these days.
it's pretty how important is it? What's more important to a photographer shooting a person in that position? Is it more important to have the right equipment and the lighting and the camera and the setting, or is trust the most important thing?
Uh, I can't say it's one or the other. I mean, you have to have both an equal. Okay, well, the way you phrase it, it's definitely the trust because you can do great stuff with lesser equipment if you know what you're doing. But if you and the model don't trust each other, it's going to show.
Has that ever happened to you where either one of you have felt uncomfortable with the other or the setting? Because I
Uh,
don't think I don't think it's just the model feeling uncomfortable. I do think the photographer is probably put in that same position as well once in a while.
yeah, well, honestly, my first time with any model is a little strange. I'm not the best at social situations, so
You're doing good tonight.
well, yeah, that's because you're on a camera and I can look away and just talk.
Yeah, you feel comfortable right now.
Comfortable enough as long as I don't have to look at me on the screen.
Well, you look fine. You look fine. Um, so yeah, that must be sort of weird though. Doing a working with a friend versus a comparative stranger. Uh, I mean, both have its pitfalls. You know, it's like you're a friend. I know you. I've known you for a long time. You know, it's a little, it's a little bit weird. Or a stranger who says, "Well, here's some money. Make me look awesome," and and you don't really know that person that well. Um, what's more what should a photographer do to make a setting super chill for the model that they're shooting? What's the one
Well,
thing?
that
What are two things? What are two or three things that a photographer can do to make for a really good atmosphere?
well, you'd have to talk to a more normal person for that. I usually have some music playing. I'll talk to them for a while before the shoot actually starts, get an idea of what she's interested in, or and more importantly, what she absolutely will not do, so I know where to stay away from.
Well, don't they talk to you about that? Like, I just want to have this done or take this picture in this position. I mean, aren't a lot of your models just aren't they basically taking pictures for their work or their career? Or
Uh, for my part, for me, it's I'm reaching out to a model to help create something I've come up with.
oh,
It's me going,
so you
it's me
create.
going, hey, I've got this idea. Is anyone interested in doing it? And then we figure out how to work with the model per person.
If someone says, "Yeah, I want to do a shoot with you," do you mind if I bring somebody with me? Are you down with that? Are you cool with that?
Yeah, that's pretty much standard operating procedure.
Good for you. Good for you.
Dylan's got her husband at every shoot.
Right,
I've had a
right.
lot of models have escorts.
I
Some
think that
don't,
I think
some
it's good
do.
because it protects you both. So what's your setup now? Tell us a little bit about your rig. What do you use to shoot now?
Well, these days I'm a Nikon shooter just because they were the cheapest brand I could find after I lost all of my last equipment.
What happened to your other equipment?
I was tired one day and I walked away from it. Forgot about it. Just left it at a Walmart.
I mean, oh my gosh! I mean, you went inside Walmart with your gear and you went to get pictures developed and you forgot it.
I was actually helping my. I was visiting my. Well, actually, I was living with my aunt at the time. I was had moved up to Fort Collins for a while, Colorado,
Sure.
and we had been trying out some new bus routes because it turns out Fort Collins has actual workable public transit. Well, we ended up stopping at a Walmart, doing a weekly shop. When we loaded up the stuff, I just left the bag behind, completely forgot about it.
Oh God. Oh, that makes me sick.
Yeah, I
Uh,
wasn't happy about it.
no. And of course, no one thought to hold it for you, and they saw it there and said, "Well, let's put it in the lost and found and see if anybody calls for it." Nobody did that, of course.
No, no, they took it and was like, "Oh, look, stuff."
Yeah, ain't that a bitch? Ain't that a bitch?
And I
Um,
got a couple high-powered studio strobes, a bunch of smaller speed lights. So yeah, I got 5 off-camera flashes I can use, my Nikon, several different lenses of various
Nikon used to
lengths.
be. I mean, as far as the layman works goes, Nikon used to be top of the food chain as far as cameras go. Everybody wanted to get either a Canon or Nikon. Are they still a reputable camera to use? Is this still
Oh
top notch
yeah,
quality?
Canons and Nikons are still, they're very much the top of the prosumer market. You pretty much can't go wrong with a Canon or a Nikon.
Is it such a thing that, before you take with film, you could take some really bad you could take some really bad pictures. Is digital picture taking, is it pretty much bulletproof, or you really
Oh
have to
God,
learn?
no. God, no. It's you can still take terrible digital pictures. It just makes the learning curve easier because you can see in real time what you screwed up and fix it.
Right, yeah, because you, I can remember, shooting when I was younger. I remember shooting a few pictures and taking them to get developed, and they were just like pictures of a thumb or a finger, or a piece of food, or it's just like what the hell was I shooting? Um, I think
Oh
some
yeah,
of
I
the
shoot a lot, but I still joke that it's not a photo. It's not one of my photo shoots until I get the model blinking. So
Okay. So once you got her picture, once you take a picture of her blinking, that's your signature. That's cute.
yeah, it's like, yep. They're like, I thought I blinked. It's like, yep, I'm shooting. I'm pretty sure you were.
That's cute. Um, so how do you find your models? Do you advertise for them? Do they find you because of your past work? Recommendations from other models, word of mouth.
Uh, well, back in the day, there used to be a website called Model Mayhem that, well, was exactly that, and that's where I met a lot of models that I worked with. These days, it's mostly Facebook. I've got a pretty good network, or used to have a really good network there.
Um, yeah, I would think. I mean, I'm sure COVID probably came in there and probably deaded things out. But what did you do during COVID? How did you keep your creative eye and work going? I mean,
Well,
obviously,
yeah, here's the thing: my photography, as the big time, kind of died in 2018. I tried to do a swimwear calendar, and I couldn't get anybody to show up. I was offering paid shoots, and I was still almost half a calendar short by the time the year was done. That kind of broke me, so I switched. That's when I kind of stopped shooting for a while. I picked up my illustrations again.
okay. What are you doing now? Are you doing a combination of both? Are you taking pictures of both and drawing?
I've been working with a lot of traveling models since then. I'm slowly trying to build back my photography, but yeah, right now illustration's my main focus.
I think when you have those gifts as you do and you developed it as you have, I do think it'll come back to you. I mean, one of the things I would recommend is going back and contacting some of the people you've already shot before, just for the hell of it. Say, hey, come on down, let's have a slice of pizza, and let's spend 2 or 3 hours shooting some pictures, just to get back into the swing of things.
Yeah, like I said, I've had traveling models. They usually come through 2, 3 times a year, so I get a shoot with them. I'm doing a shoot tomorrow with the traveling model.
Okay, that's good. Now, what goes into a setup? Let's just say I'm shadowing you. I'm there in Topeka and I'm shadowing you, and we get to wherever we're going to shoot at. Let's say we're going to shoot at a building. So to walk us through exactly how do you get ready? What do you do?
Well, I mean, it's mostly if it's a good shoot, I already have an idea of what I want the look to be, so I'll just find somewhere, say in the abandoned building, that fits what I want, and then I just put my equipment up, talk to the model, and try to make sure we're on the same wavelength with that.
Right. Um, Now you've done a lot of cosplaying too. Shooting cosplayers. How do you like working with the cosplayers? Are they easier to work with than say regular models, or are they really highly particular of what they want?
That's very individualistic.
Isn't it?
I get along with cosplayers because I'm a comic book guy, so I think in those terms. So it's easy enough to get on the same wavelength. But just like you can have really picky normal models, you can have very particular cosplay models.
Right, right. Um, I can yeah. What are some of your favorite some of your favorite people that you like to illustrate with? Like I said, you do comics. What are some of your favorite comic book characters you'd like to draw?
Well, like I said, I don't do fan art too much. I've been doing some lately just because I've had ideas. I just finished a Lady Death piece I'm kind of proud of.
Oh my gosh, she's still around. Oh my
Oh yeah,
god.
yeah, yeah. She's never gonna go away.
Yeah.
Her
Wow.
creator won't let her.
Um. God, man, I didn't know she was. Yeah, I didn't know she was still around.
Oh
That's
yeah,
cool.
Brian. I forget. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. He's constantly doing Kickstarters to get his next series going.
Wow,
So yeah, he's
really?
never gonna let Lady Death die.
I would think that Lady Death would have been strong and standing on her own by now, but I guess it cost a lot of money to put out a book.
Well,
Um,
she's very much the typical '90s bad girl comic character, and that's not really popular these days.
yeah. Um, so of all the comics, how many comics do you collect? Do you collect a lot of titles or just a few or
Uh, I'd say a fairly decent mid range.
which ones do you buy?
Uh, Nightwing, Wonder Woman, a lot of the X titles from Marvel. I've been keeping up with the new Spider-Man series. And there's some really fun stuff on the indies, but you just have to. They're not always ongoing titles. They're like series of miniseries.
Yeah, it's expensive, isn't it, to do an independent comic book?
Yeah, it's like there's one been coming out recently called Gun Honey. I'm a big fan of.
Um, and so do you ever hire models to come and I guess I don't know if I don't know if you're allowed to do. I guess how is it that cosplayers are you allowed to shoot a cosplayer or to print their picture of a cosplayer if they're in a let's say they dress like Wonder Woman and you take a picture of that? Are you allowed to use that as part of your portfolio? Uh, Even though she's in a DC Comics character, are you allowed to use that, or if she signs off on the picture, are you allowed to use that even though she's in costume, or is
That's
that
one of those fun copyright questions that are really tricky. Um, your example would probably be a little easier. DC's not quite as bad about it, but Marvel, now that they're owned by Disney, is just rabid about that kind of crap.
so? If someone wanted to dress up like the Scarlet Witch, you could take the picture. They could dress as cosplay and take the picture, but you couldn't sell it
Well,
or
they sell their prints at the cons, and I don't think anyone cares. But
um,
it's different, like selling like a pile of prints you've made versus I don't know whatever other business options there are.
right.
But yeah, it's one of those you got to be kind of careful.
Um, if someone came to you, Justin, and wanted to get into the business, um, into the photography business, how would you? What would you tell them? How would you show them? Would you show them what to do? Would you tell them what to do? Would you encourage them to shadow you? Would you be willing to do that? Um,
Uh, well, I'm always willing to teach, but if they want to get into the business, my first order would probably tell them to find somebody who's more successful.
how do you define success?
Well, I define it different, but most people, if they're trying to get into the business, are trying to make money with it. I don't, so I send them to someone who's more business minded.
That's still a good question, but how do you personally define success? Where do you feel is a success?
Accomplishment to I guess, a certain standard.
I mean, those pictures you took of Dylan on your page, I mean, those are absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, well, that's it's fun, and she's extraordinarily easy to work with. So,
I love the picture with the werewolf in the background. Now is that a combination of how did you work that picture? Because let me go
which
down.
one?
You have a picture. I'll bring it up. Because it's super cool. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Where is it? It's a picture of her, and she's standing there, and behind her It looks like a werewolf. I'm trying. Because the first thing that came to my mind, it looked like something like it would be off of Bone Hill Road, a movie that she did. Um,
Oh yeah, I've seen that one.
yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Now, how did you do that picture? Because
If
that's an
it's the
amazing.
picture I'm thinking about, it's I said you might want to bring it up just so I can double check. But if it's what I'm thinking of, it's a digital artist took one of mine and it did their thing behind it.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Is that it now? Where is it? Oh, God, I have to find it again. Yeah, but I thought that picture was one of the coolest pictures. I was like, okay, I gotta ask him how he did that because that was wicked cool. Because have you seen any of her movies that she's done?
I bought Bone Hill Road because it was out at Walmart.
Okay. Um,
The others, not so much. I'm not.
Falnado's really good. Oh, I can't find it. I know it's let's see, is that it right? No, that's not it. I know which one it is, but I just wanted to know how you did that. So you took the picture of her, and then he superimposed it digitally behind her, so it looks like the werewolf is right over her shoulder. That is and she's wearing that like a looks like a blue black outfit too. Man, that's a cool shot. I'm noticing the
Yeah, I
colors.
think that one was done by a digital artist.
I'm looking at some of the other pictures you have here, where you're shooting at dark, and the clothing is all. It's sort of like it's like neon lights. It's you know, uh, it looks like you shot it in complete dark, and the clothing is like glow in the dark. Now, is that setting through lighting, or is that the camera? Does it allow you to take pictures like that? I
Well,
guess.
depending on which ones you actually talk about, it could be either A, some of my old blacklight photography, in which
That's
case the clothes would be glowing.
right. Now, is that still popular medium to do? What's the most popular mediums to do as far as uh let's see,
Fawn saying that one was a selfie of hers.
wow. I love that because it has the wolf eyes over your shoulder. I just thought that was just so Bone Hill Road like.
Well, I did shoot her in a similar outfit a couple times, so I could see where you'd make the mistake.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I'm looking at the other one, the black light. So how is that picture? How is that different from a normal photography? I mean, does that take a lot of time and effort to do a shoot like that in black light?
Black lights, yeah, they take forever to set up, and they're hard to pull off because one, most black lights aren't that powerful, so you're dealing with long exposure times. So you have to sit in a pose for a full
Ooh.
second.
And that's a long time, isn't it, to hold a pose?
Yeah.
Uh, where do you see yourself? Where do you want to see? Where do you see yourself taking your skill set? What do you want to do with it, Justin?
Oh, that now that's a question that requires a lot of money and several highly trained therapists to answer.
Uh,
I'm working on a submission for the comic company Top Cow. They're doing their yearly talent hunt,
uh-huh.
so I'm submitting to that.
Um,
I have debated relaunching my Patreon.
okay. And you could now people join your Patreon. Would they be getting pictures from you, or would they be getting uh, illustrations?
Uh, it's one of those things I'm in the process of trying to figure out how to do, but I imagine they'd be getting, whatever I happen to create that month.
Do you work every day? I mean, how do you decide what are you going to do? I mean, if it's Monday, it's an illustration day. Tuesday, photography. Wednesday, you know.
Well, like I said, I don't shoot a lot anymore, so most days I try to sit down and draw for a couple hours at least.
Okay. Does it help you relax?
I suppose is as good easiest way of phrasing it as any. Like I said, anything else, we'd probably need a therapist to translate.
You mentioned the therapist. Is that because you is it a therapist? Is that something to do with because I know artists are very I know they're very self-critical, and I know a lot of times they beat themselves up over their art. Do you have confidence in your ability, or do you have self-doubt?
Oh, I pretty much am made of self-doubt.
Really?
But no,
Even
it's
though
just
but
it's
people
not
tell
even
you,
art. I've struggled with mental illness for years, so
so that happened before. Okay, so that happened before you got into drawing and pictures.
yeah, I've been well, like I said, I've been drawing since I was a kid, so
Because I'm sure people have told you how skilled you are. I know I'm not the first one, obviously. So
no,
do you
but
have a hard? Is it hard for you to accept that? Accept that? Because some people
well,
do. They
I'll
show
put
their
it. I've got an example that sums up the way I think about it pretty well.
okay,
Like I said, I'm submitting to a comic company, right?
okay,
And I've shown my art to people who like it, and they like it, they want to see more. But I showed one of them. I got like Top Cow's got a Facebook group where people can post the work they're getting ready to submit,
sure.
and I showed this friend some of the art that I was up against, and she just took one look at it, her jaw dropped, and she's like, "Oh my god!" And it's like, I have never gotten a "Oh my god" out of anybody with my art. People like it, yeah, but it's never stopped them in their tracks, had their jaw drop.
Would it help you to tell you that it did with me when I first saw it?
Probably not, mostly because I wouldn't believe you.
Well, tell you the honest to God truth, Justin, between you and me, yeah, that's exactly why I did it. I was like amazed at the pictures you were taking. I thought they were brilliant. I was amazed. That's why I was really surprised when I contacted you and you were sitting there going like, why would anybody want to hear what I had to say? Because your ability is your skill set is very impressive.
Well, his skill set might be, but I'm a photographer in Topeka. This is pretty much, if you would pick anywhere that's as far from the center of the art world as can be, it'd probably be here.
Yeah, but you know what though? You know what though? There's advantage of that though, because there's nobody else out there. So the only game in town is you. And you know what?
Yeah.
It's not necessarily such a bad thing being top dog in a small pond. You know what I'm saying? Now, because you get everybody's business, you get everybody's best. You know, so not necessarily a bad thing.
No, but no, I've told a couple people that you were interviewing me, and it's like, it's weird because I was any more of a nobody, there'd be a Cyclops running around screaming, I've blinded him, which is an Odyssey joke for those of you who don't know your Greek history.
Uh, no, that's the other thing too. I was thinking, wow, I wonder how many times he's been interviewed by him for his skill. And I think he told me this is your first time you've been interviewed.
Yeah.
That's something that'll probably change. I think once you get back in the swing of things, or if you get that job at the Cop Cow, was it Cop Cow? Top Cow?
Top Cow. Yeah.
You get hooked on over there. Yeah, you'll be talking to a lot more different people. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, if I won, but I can tell you from seeing the work that they've posted, I ain't winning.
You know what though? But you did win just by entering. You know,
Yeah.
it's not a consolation prize. You know what? I couldn't think of. I could. 95% of the people that they wouldn't be able to enter that. They wouldn't even get. They wouldn't even be. They wouldn't even have the confidence or the ability to even think about that. The fact that you did that, you put yourself out there, tells me you do have some confidence in your ability. You know that you're good. You just want to take
Well,
it
I
to
thought it
the.
was, and then I started seeing their art, and holy God, there's some amazing people entering this contest.
But does that encourage you though, Justin? I mean, when you see that and you look at that, and instead of being like, oh shit, I can't compete with that. But I don't see you looking at it that way. I see you looking at it going like, all right, that's what's going on. Well, you know what? I can go ahead and step up and elevate.
No, unfortunately, I'm very much the first thing. I've had to fight the urge to quit the whole competition.
Well, let me tell you what's going on here in the chat real quick. Our friend Echo is saying he loves this conversation. And Fawn is saying that you have a lot of talent, Justin.
Yeah,
And
I
our
saw that.
Yep, and our buddy Frog says very talented. So yeah, so just let you know that we're not blowing smoke up your ass because that's not how we operate here. I
Oh, I
I I,
know,
ne- I
but
never do that.
I'm just saying that other people in this talent search are of magnitude above me and what they can do. I'm seeing some of these guys going, "How the hell are you not in the industry already?" Because it's
Mm.
amazing some of their work.
Let me ask you one question. If you don't want to answer it, that's fine. I just totally understand. But I want to ask this because I'm curious. You mentioned before, about the mental illness, and I could be mistaken here. And believe me, like if you don't feel like answering it, you don't have to. But I take it you're probably underneath some medications. Do medications help an artist or hinder them?
Well, because I am very poor, I've not been on medications for my issues. I just power through them.
Mm,
Uh, as far as the answer to helping or hurting, it depends very much on the artist, what they're doing, and how the medication and them interact.
yeah, because
I've seen a lot of people. You can search Facebook or the news. They get their medication and they're able to, I guess, see straight for the first time in a while, and then they can do some amazing things now that everything in their head's under control.
right, right. I was thinking sometimes controlled chaos isn't necessarily a bad thing.
No, no, it's. I don't think medication. If the medication's doing what it's supposed to, I don't think it's ever going to hurt an artist because it gets your head under control.
Right, right. I know some artists feel like because artists are. I mean, is it safe to say, Justin, that the artists they're their own worst critic, aren't they?
Most of us, well, the good ones are, yes.
I mean, more so than a lot of skills. A lot of in the arts. Be it a writer or a dancer or an actor or whatever. But it seems like artists themselves, they just seem to have a little bit more self doubt than anything else. And that's just. Do you think it's more self imposed because you have such a. I mean, here's our bar of success. This is what I define as success. But I look at artists. It's up here they're so elevated because they're so much more skilled. So it's a higher rung for them. It's a higher aim for them to aim for, a higher a platform to aim for. And it's hard to do that. It's hard to just to be pushing yourself that hard all the time. And still, I guess you feel like you never made it, or you're not you. I'm just saying the artists in general. They see themselves getting to a certain point, and then in their eyes, if they don't reach it, it's not like I made it, it's beautiful, I did the best that I could. They sort of take themselves down a little bit, more so than other artists in doing their professions.
Well, you also have to understand that what. Now, I'm not terribly in the art community. I don't know many artists. I don't talk to, well, anybody, honestly. But what we see in that, if you could see what we see in our heads and then see what we produce, you'd understand why we're so upset.
Hmm. I never had that gift. Never had a gift like you have. Yeah. I would like to see how you see the world, to tell you the truth, just to see, just see what you see. Because I
Well,
just
you
see
might not. It's a very weird place in here.
I just think I see a man with tremendous gifts, and I think you'll pick up for you for sure. Um, I think you'll get to be the where you have a happy balance, half balance of taking pictures, half balance of illustrations. I think you'll come up to a happy medium.
Well, we can hope.
Yeah. I think that's a good. I think that's a good place to stop at on a hope. Don't you think?
Hope's always good, or at least that's what they tell me.
Yes, it's what they tell me too. I'm pretty much like you. I probably don't believe it as much as people think that I should. But I understand why people say it. Um, Justin, I really want to thank you so much for coming out and hanging out with us. I know this must have taken a little bit out of you, and I'm grateful that you did trust me. You trusted me to do this, and I'm quite, I hope I did you right. I hope you felt comfortable doing
Well,
the
do
interview.
thank Fawn too when she gave you her seal of approval. It made things easier.
Yeah, I'm gonna be talking to her again next year. She's gonna come back on the show and come out and hang out with us. She's a lovely person. I really enjoy talking to her. She's such a sweetheart. She
Oh yeah,
really
she
is.
is.
She's one of the most down to earth people I've talked to, um, and definitely one of the prettiest too. Uh, uh, yeah, I was very excited when I saw her on your wall. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm in the right place. This is amazing. Um, Listen, I want to thank you for coming out and hanging out with us. Like I said, I'm going to stay in touch with you. I'm going to be looking forward to seeing what you do next. I might even ping you once in a while to sit there and say, "Yo, Justin, show me what you've been doing." And I hope you trust me enough to share what you're doing, and I can talk it up for you a little
Well, I
bit.
will say I'm planning a big art drop on Halloween, so keep an eye out for that.
Good, good. Are you going to be dropping the pictures on your on Instagram here?
Instagram, Facebook, anywhere I can get away with. I'm in the middle of several very Halloween themed
Uh,
things, so
Fawn says she loves us.
well, we were being
Very.
nice, so now she doesn't have to kill us.
Yes, thank God, right? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I mean, I have a cheetah, but I don't want to get murdered by Don. I mean, Fawn. I don't really want that to happen. So, uh, uh, I want to thank the chat for coming out and hanging out with us tonight. We had some technical problems earlier. That was actually all Steam StreamYard. It's been wonky all day, so yeah, it happens.
Yeah, well, yeah, the figures it'd be me. That Murphy
No,
does love
no,
me.
it wasn't you. It wasn't you. Other people had problems as well. That's
Oh, I
why I
know,
knew.
but it would be
Yeah.
Murphy's luck that it would happen on the day I was supposed to get interviewed.
It says here. She says she can't wait to see your art drop. Neither can I. It's gonna be exciting. I'm gonna put all your social media and everybody can see your pictures and your work and whatnot. I'll put your Facebook page up here. I'll put your Instagram page up here so people can go there and follow you and ask you some questions. And please, I encourage you to do so. Um, you are very good at answering DMs. I appreciate that. And I mean,
Well, I
you were
don't
very
have a lot, so it's easy to get to.
well. You know what? We got to change. We're going to work on changing that. And you're open to answering questions. If anybody has any questions about your art, they're more than welcome to send you questions, and you'll answer them. And I think that's really cool. You mentioned earlier you don't talk to people too much, but you had no problem talking to me, and I think that bodes well. And I think you can gain some new friends and fans tonight, and that's part of the interview process, right? Get you out there, get people to know who you are a little bit, and
That's the hope.
yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So if you're in Topeka, Kansas, and you want to check out some an awesome photographer, well, or if you're writing the comic book and you're looking for some great illustrations, Justin Sanders is definitely your man. Um, All right, let me tell you what's going on next week here before I let everybody go. So on the 30th, this Sunday, we will be doing two shows. We're going to be doing two shows. We're going to be hosting the Midnight Society at 8 o'clock. We're going to be talking all things John Constantine. You like Constantine?
Uh, the movie, not so much. The appearance of Lou at the end was one of the best scenes in cinema history, though. I know of
Um,
him. He's appeared in a few of the books I've read, but he's not my favorite character.
you know what, it's funny. It's like I love the movie. I love Constantine the movie, Keanu Reeves, but then Matt Ryan came in there and he pretty much kept him alive. He did the TV series, he did the two TV series, and he did the animation movies, and he's really kept Constantine up and alive. And I'm really hoping now they announced Constantine 2. I'm really hoping and that they find him a good part. He needs to be in the movie. To me, the movie is a failure if they don't cast Matt Ryan in some sort of role. But we're going to be talking about that this Sunday on the Midnight Society at 6 o'clock. We're going to be talking. We're going to be over at Ben from Cadaver Club. Everybody in the chat knows who these people are. We're going to be over at Ben's Cadaver Club's channel and for the IFC Midnight Show, and we're going to be talking about Hunter x Hunter at 6 o'clock Eastern Time. It's a IFC Midnight film, and it is dark as hell. We'll be talking Hunter x Hunter and then Constantine on Sunday. And then next Tuesday, the 1st of November, we have John Grande from Grande's Graveyard. He'll be with us at 8 o'clock. Wednesday, the 2nd, we have actor Josh Hahn will be here with us at 8 o'clock. And then Thursday, November 3rd, we have the lovely Christy Adams from Nightmare Toys in Las Vegas coming out to hanging out with us. So we have a lot of fun and adventure upcoming here on the channel. Thanks again for the chat for coming out. We will see you on Sunday. Sunday. Justin, stay right where you're at. Everybody else in the chat, thank you so much. Have a great night, and thanks for your patience. And we'll talk to you soon. Peace. Stay right where you're at, sir.